All right, yo, 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 it's your boy Yoshi Kid Neo, and we are back in the world of Borodil, the adventures of Borodil. And today, the party are going to be kind of getting a lore dump in a way. They just finished killing a creature from a completely different dimension, different planet, whatever you want to call it. And they're in desperate need of some rest, so they're going to be most likely heading back to the Myconid location, their little grove, and chilling out there for a little while before they begin their journey back towards the Sleepy Peak, which is still going to take them some time. But before that even happens, there is a lizard folk that they must talk to first, because he was the reason that that portal was even there. So, should be fun. I don't know how the party's going to react, but I don't want to give too much details on this little sort of recap thing. But I've got big plans for this lizard folk and what he's got to say. So hopefully you enjoy. Alrighty, let's change to this here muse. The last time we left our heroes, you guys were just getting into your journey into the Underdark, on your way towards the Sleepy Peak located north of the Titanian Empire. Your reason for going there is to attempt to light one of the pillars of fire, specifically the one for the Fire Lord, Kasuth, God of Fire. And in return for lighting this pillar, Trindos and his companions that you'll more than likely find, at least that's what Trindos believes, will aid in ridding Cyrodiil of its foes and giving it back its rightful king. And that is King Rakim, aka Gerald's character. The party has essentially been hired by Rakim, or promised rather, riches beyond their belief. I don't know exactly what the what the verbiage was when he approached you guys, but not only is this for a good cause and for a really good paycheck, but it's something different. It's a reason for you guys to step out of the City of Guilds as a group and go and do something besides try to fill your pockets and your coffers. So you set out on this journey, which ultimately led you to where you're currently at, licking your wounds after somehow pulling a creature through what seems to be some sort of portal in the middle of the Underdark. And this horrific creature, let me make sure, bring it out, and boom.
So lovely.
Yes, this horrific creature did a pretty big number on most all of you, except for Snoopy. Nothing ever hurts Snoopy. But it was a mighty challenge, especially when you guys realized that just the mere, or just being close to it, drove you to some sort of insanity. You guys watched as Rakim started to eat the dirt and the mushy mushrooms and just all types of random stuff on the ground, and was enjoying it. You watched as Angelica and Maeve ended up having to retreat into their mind, into their happy place, just to keep it together. I don't believe that Alfric ended up having any type of madness, and then
Nope.
Snoopy ended up having this paralyzation for a brief moment. Oh, that's right. Snoopy ended up taking very short dog naps in between, and Medell Ginn wasn't able to speak properly. But ultimately, your party was successful, and you brought down this creature, which was sucked back into this portal, and then the portal was closed. And as you all started to gather around, or actually as Maeve poured a potion down Alfric's throat to make sure that he didn't die, and you guys started to gather around in preparation to take a short rest, you heard a voice echoing through the chamber. Not really a voice, more of a whistling. And after a few moments of hearing this whistling, you heard a gasp, and then you heard the sort of wet footsteps of a lizard folk as he ran up. And as he runs up, that is where we will be beginning our session. Let me get us here. You guys hear the wet footsteps of this lizard folk, and then you hear, no, no, and pop, 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 pop. And as he runs past your group towards where that portal once was, no, what happened? And he starts to look around, and you, fools, all of you, fools, what did you do? Why did you close the portal for Mox? Tell me.
Si no puedo hablar en inglés.
What? Is that a tiny fish man talking to? What is that?
It's a lizard folk. Let's see. Snoopy and Angelica definitely know what a lizard folk are. I don't believe...
I was actually just talking in character, but okay.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
I thought you were asking. Oh.
No.
My bad. In that case,
okay.
Never mind. What?
Oh, I'm still half on the ground, dead.
No, me no fish, me lizard folk. Yes. Yes, and you, human, fool.
What did you call the thing in the portal?
That is a prodigy of the king. Yes, but you kill it. Did you?
I did.
Who's
I
king?
looked over to the dead body. You could check if it's still alive. I don't know.
What king, you ask? My king. Yes. But you destroy portal.
Sorry, I'm not too familiar with your culture because I'm like not you. I don't know if you knew that. If you guys have self-awareness of people, like who you are versus the common knowledge of other beings.
Yes.
We don't share knowledge. And
You
just
watch.
because you know something doesn't mean everybody knows.
He looks at you kind of puzzled. So you're confused. Yes. Mox will teach you. Come. And he waves all of you. Come, sit. Please give Mox your attention, for he only has a short... Mox only have short amount of time to make sure you make this mistake no more. Never again. No.
Okay. Is your name Mox then?
Yes, I am Mox.
Okay.
To understand this story, first you must know about Mox and how his life has changed in the past few weeks. Yes, very quickly. Mox come from tribe that live deep in forest. It is mating season for Mox's tribe. Mating season make air smell different. It brings predators from all around. Yes. And the wind carry the scent of eggs newborn. And it spread, and with the spread, more and more predators come try to eat our eggs. Gross. But Old King, he increased patrol. Yes, more patrol means safer tribe. But unfortunately, a group came through, and they burned one of our patrols. But they left Shaman alive, buried to his neck. And as he's doing this, he's like animating himself, and he puts his hands below his chin.
This is us, right? This is.
Who knows?
Was anybody else part of the group when this happened?
No, actually.
You can go ahead and throw the PTSD up.
Okay, hold on.
Just you.
You guys watch as Snoopy is sitting there all regal, but then suddenly he gets this like cross-eyed look and starts to shake. Something like that. Anyway, he continues. Another group find Shaman. They dig him up and bring him before King. And before his execution, he tell King everything about how a group came through and they were much stronger. And they used fire to kill. With one of the shaman down, one next in line to become head shaman of tribe, we have to find replacement. And who other than Mox is to be sent to find their way into nature. So Mox journey to other lizardfolk tribe, neighboring tribe, in hopes of learning their ways and rituals from what their head shaman, to bring back this knowledge back to my shaman. But when Mox get back, when Mox has made it and learned to commune with nature, he find no more tribe. Tribe disappeared without a trace. All I see is empty huts. I see empty nests, but I don't see sign of struggle. No. Mox alone. Mox have no idea where family is, no idea what tribe is. So Mox go to the Great Green One and asking questions in a search for his people. The Great Green One deny Mox. The Great Green One tell Mox that the tribe has failed and that they were dealt with properly. But Mox no understand. Mox just became new shaman, but the forest no tell Mox what happened. Mox find himself lonely and starving and seeking answers when he comes across a traveler. It seems to be, and he starts to look all of you up and down, and then he ends up coming up towards Maeve. Seems to be your height, but instead of showing face, he have hood up. Can't see face, but his hood is of yellow color. And he not talk to Mox, but he show Mox what happened. And the Great Green One come through and poison all of Mox's tribe. Eat all of Mox's tribe. And Great Green Little Ones feast on my dead brethren. It was then that Mox wanted revenge to the Great Green One. And the king, my new king, the king in yellow, he showed me how. He gave me power. And you watch as Mox opens his hand and you can see that purplish flame essentially whisk into existence. He gave me the power. But before I am able to use it to its full potential, before I can get my revenge for my people, I have task to do for King. He tell me to go here. He tell me get close to Lodestone, an open portal to King's planet. For the King live far, far away. He can come and go to here as he please, but his army cannot. So Mox has to open portal to allow army to come through. But he does not need army to take over. No. The king is much stronger than that. The king could take over by himself if he wants. I have seen his power, and he is unmatched. Not even Titania above, and he points right above you guys. Not even they could withstand the power of the king in yellow. No. But he need the army to come through, because the army brings forth an energy to this place. An energy that brings forth the Scarlet Comet. Yes. And that, the Scarlet Comet, is the way that he will control. That is the way that he will end war. That is the way he will end suffering, is with the Scarlet Comet in the sky, watching above all, seeing everything, and making sure everyone well taken care of. So, you destroy Portal. You destroy Mox's only objective given by King. And now Mox must face the King's wrath. I fear that he will be here soon. And perhaps maybe it's good for you to stay, yes. Perhaps maybe it would be wise decision for you all to see what the king capable of. That way, if you find another portal, you do not close it. Otherwise, you might incur same wrath, same fate as Mox. Yes. And he sits down.
King's name that you serve?
Good question. I don't know. I call him my king. But he also wears yellow garments, so you could call him King in Yellow.
Does he stand on 2 feet?
I believe so, yes. But his cowl and his cloak, very long indeed. No see feet. But I assume he has feet. He walk like normal, but he leave no track.
And do you know anything about these creatures? And I don't think we actually... Do we have any more of those bodies left, or we feed all of them to it?
Believe you guys fed them all.
I call out the little angles, the little angler bobbles.
And Mox gets up and comes over and starts to sniff it. Ah, yes. King's minions. They the ones that come through. They come through portal. They go and get mushroom folk, bring it to portal to feed it, to keep it open.
Oh, what do you know about the mushroom folk?
They are very nutritious.
Is there a way you can stop eating them?
Well, the portal is closed. The creatures are no more. So more than likely, it will just inevitably end. Like Mox will.
So you don't have any other way to open another portal?
No, I used all power that King gave me. Now I only have enough power to get me back to surface, but that is only if he allows me to survive. He will be here soon, yes, to enact punishment for Mox's failures.
You get to the surface and run as far as you can, and I think we all need to go.
Yeah, let's...
No. You stay.
Quickly.
Hey, so Mox, is that your name? Mox?
Mox. Yes.
I've met the Great Green One before.
You met Great Green One?
Mm-hmm.
And you still live?
She gave me one of her eggs.
Ah, so you are a carrier of Great Green One. Should I be spared by King in Yellow, you become greatest enemy.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, you care for green egg.
I look at my party and see like 3 of them are almost dead. How's Maldin look?
Oh.
I can't see his health bar.
You shouldn't be able to see. Oh, his health bar didn't update on this one. Let me go and take a look-see. Where is Maldin? He has a little blood splotch on his.
So he's messed up, kinda.
There. Now you should be able to get a better gauge.
Badly injured. I go, oh, I don't really feel like being your mortal enemy. What did you say you were gonna do that group again? Sorry, my computer like spazzed out and I missed half of that conversation.
Oh, me no care about group. Group was just passing by, it turns out. They did not want Mox's eggs. Or Mox's tribe's eggs. They did not even care for Mox's tribe. It was all a big misunderstanding. But the Great Green One saw this as a weakness and destroyed Lizardfolk tribe.
Oh. So you wouldn't
still
care
have her eggs,
about
Snoopy?
them? No.
Too many people talking at once. Me no.
Anymore.
But
Moxie
he protect
doesn't
egg.
have the egg anymore. No, he doesn't have it anymore.
Where egg go?
We don't
Perhaps
know where
maybe
it
you
is.
give to Mox and Mox can eat it. And that would be revenge for Mox.
Oh. So I totally missed the whole thing where he hates the dragon now.
Yeah, he hates the
Oh,
dragon.
gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't like. He's looking for revenge against the Great Green One, aka Lasarth.
Yeah. Little fella, do you know about Do you know her name is Lasarth? The dragon? The great green one?
We never heard the name Lasarth before, but we know the Great Green One when we see her.
You know about the other great green one?
He tilts his head to the side. Other Great Green One? There are two?
You didn't think. Oh, you lizard folk are so cute. Oh.
What make lizard folk cute? Me
Such a
no
dog.
understand.
Dog.
You guys, so Lasarth is the weak one.
But Great Green One is very, very strong. Kill entire lizard folk tribe. Very easy. King, show me. One of her breath attack kill everyone.
She has a daddy, and he's a lot stronger, so you might need a little more help.
Interesting. And he starts to stroke his chin. No matter. The king will kill them both. Well, he would have, had Mox not failed. But Mox's failure now in eyes of king, and his punishment will be just.
Can I send a message to Angie?
Go ahead.
So Angie, I send a message to you saying, my old group is the one that killed this guy, that shaman. We should either kill him or go now.
Either way, whatever he's spouting on about, it's not our problem.
The king. And you watch as Mock gets up and then
Of
goes
fucking
into
course.
a bow.
Ah! Told you we had to leave.
And as he bows, he's bowing towards all of you. But as you sort of like turn around, you can see this shadowy figure starting to approach very, very slowly without a sound. And you see this thing, and you watch as the shadows at its feet are animated in a way, almost like little tentacles. I forget what cartoon it is, but maybe if I find it later, I'll show you. But anyway, as the...
I imagine Samurai Jack.
It might
Isn't that
be
where...
something with like, what is his name? Aku, right?
Yeah.
And I think with like the shadows at his feet. So it's kind of like that. So the shadows are dancing at his feet as he moves, and they look tentacle-like. But you don't see anything. You see him making the movements like a normal humanoid of this size would make as they walk. But it's very fluid, very graceful. And for those of you perceptive enough, you notice that he does not indeed leave any track behind him. And as he's moving, you guys can hear like these whispers coming from around you. You start looking around into like the cave.
I take notice of this and I bow towards the figure and say, greetings.
And the figure starts to walk. And as it's walking towards you guys, you notice that it's not trying to get out of the way or anything like that. And as you guys are kind of like sitting around Mox, you can feel a sudden movement that essentially parts the way between any of you that might have been in his way and in front of Mox. And he moves past you guys, very silent. And Mox continues in his bow. And then he, yes, my king. And he stands up. And he looks at the cowled figure which the cowled figure is probably within 3 feet of Mox, and Mox is standing up rather straight, actually. His first demeanor, he was kind of slouched over, but now he's standing up straight, and you watch as the gentleman in yellow walks forward, and he raises up his hands, which you can't see his hands because they are covered in his cloak, and you watch as he removes the hood, and all you see is sort of a black version of that portal. But you see Mox's eyes widen, and then you see out of the corner of his mouth, you see a trickle of blood. And then you see at the eye sockets, you see blood start to drip down from his eyes. You then start to hear the sort of gag and gurgle. And you watch as Mox starts to suffocate. And you can see his chest moving rapidly as he's trying to get air. And just before he's about to kick the bucket, you see the gentleman in yellow put the hood back up, and all of a sudden Mox starts to retch. He falls to his knees and begins to vomit up copious amounts of blood. And the gentleman in yellow turns around very slowly, and he starts to walk away. And as he does, Mox begins to crawl towards his king, and he's trying to say something, but he continues to retch, and he continues to throw up more and more of his blood. And you can see his eyes starting to fade to this white, this stark white color. And just before he's done, he dips his finger into the blood, and he crawls a little forward to a spot where he hasn't completely vomited everywhere, and he starts to write something. And in the middle of it,
can I send a message to him and say, what do you need to say?
And at the moment you send that, you hear a voice in your head, and you cannot fathom what it's saying.
Okay.
You have no idea what language this is that you're hearing, but Mox is looking directly at you as this is happening. And after the voice is done speaking to you, Mox slumps over, splatters his blood before he could finish writing something. You turn around, and the gentleman in yellow is no longer there.
All right, I am gonna take this as an invitation to get the fuck out of here as quickly as we can while he thinks that we're not a threat.
I'm gonna go check out our buddy Mox here. Does he have anything on him that is worth a note?
You can see that he's got this sort of, I guess, this headdress that he was wearing. It seems to be very finely made. It's a skull of some sort, like a half skull of some sort of creature, and then you can see that it's plumed with the feathers of various types of birds and things like that. He's got a decorated staff that's got a skull fixated to the top of it. It almost looks like the skull of a monkey, but when you touch it, doesn't have any type of magical properties to it. In fact, anything you touch is very primitive. You can tell that this was all made prior to him starting to serve this king in yellow.
Understood. Did he write anything?
You watch as he started to write what looks to be the letter M, and it stops there.
I bet he was gonna say my king.
Alfric, roll sleight of hand.
I need to do that. I will remember how to do that in a second.
You click on your token and go to the skills up on the top. You should see sleight
there
of
it
hand.
is.
Okay, let me see something. Angelica doesn't notice. Maeve doesn't notice. Rakim doesn't notice. And Snoopy does. So while the rest of your group is trying to figure out, like looking where the king in yellow was, you start to fiddle around in your pockets and you pull out something. And as you say something under your breath, Snoopy hears it, and he kind of like tilts one of his ears up, and then he turns around and he sees you with this sort of jade amulet, and he sees that you're looking at Mox's body, and you say this word, and he can see this sort of small dim globule of light come and go into the mouth of this jade amulet, and then you put it away. Snoopy, you may do whatever you wish with that information.
Okay. I just kind of like look at him, tilt my head, and then I guess I would go and continue to like look at his body.
Okay.
I send him a message. I say, what was that? I'll keep it a secret.
How was he talking to me exactly?
He casts a spell
your
called
mind.
Message, and you
Okay.
hear it in your mind, and you can speak back to him. So you watch him visibly cast the spell, and then start to speak in your head. And I think, do you even know this?
I don't think I know message.
Yeah,
No.
you don't know but I know someone in your group, your old group, at some point in time has used Message before. So I
Okay.
know you know what it does.
Yeah.
As a wizard too, so
Okay.
you know how to respond as well.
I'll think. Hello? Who is this? Because I'm kind of concerned. Like, a random voice in my head. I look over this.
You see me, and I'm like waving my mage hand, like it's me.
Hello there. How's it going? You saw that, did you?
Yes.
Oh,
Should do that more quiet.
I I intend to. Just allocating some resources here, that's all.
Souls?
One might construe it as such, yes.
Cool, whatever. Seen worse. So I just kind of
So,
go ahead.
no, nothing.
I was just gonna like leave it.
Yeah, I was gonna leave it at that. I thought you were saying something else. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that.
No. Just I look around the group. All right, guys. I'm gonna take the headdress, and I just go. All right, guys. Time to go. Yeah.
Don't you want to chill out a bit before we keep moving?
I think it'd be
No.
better for us to get out of this area first and then rest a little bit once we get back to the mushrooms.
I know there's enemies here.
All right,
I saw
good
more
point.
of those fish guys.
Let's get diddly out of here then.
Is the body of the creature did that disappear at all, Brady?
Yes. You're talking the
Okay.
big one that you fought?
Yes.
Yeah, that one got sucked back into the portal as it collapsed.
Well, then I will hurry on with the rest of the group then.
Have we noticed that like the water has it changed at all since the portal disappeared?
It actually has. You notice that it's not bubbling. You notice that there's not like this sort of not necessarily sulfuric smell, but you can tell that the air quality has changed as well. And as you start to look towards the water, obviously you can't see what color it is, but it doesn't look as grim. It looks clear.
I'm gonna take out my 10-foot pole and I'm gonna touch it again.
And
Just
it goes into the water like normal.
gasp.
Well, I think we should go get out of here. We're actually probably safer than I initially thought, and we should go collect our mushroom reward. And get into an even more dangerous area.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds super fun. Peachy, let's go.
Agreed. And Medelgin, or Den, gets up and starts to sort of lead you guys. And you can see that he's kind of limping. And you look and you can actually see that his right leg is loose and like almost falling off his body, to the point where he's like got one of his arms essentially holding on to like where the hip joint would be and like pushing against it, trying not to fall apart.
Could I go over to Medell and ask him if he'd mind me trying to help him?
In what way do you think you could help me, wizard?
I'm sure I have like some tears in my cloak, right, from the last fight.
Correct.
I do mending on them, and I show him this. Do you think you have anything I like small I could? You're made of metal. I can try my hand at putting it back together a bit.
Unfortunately, your magic doesn't really affect Warforged in that fashion. There's something about it that doesn't quite agree with our joints, as they're not completely mundane anymore, but they're not magical. Does that make sense?
Okay.
What about leather strips?
Yeah, do you need a rope or something?
Sure, that might help me keep together.
All right, I walk over to him and pull out some of my leftover materials from my leather work and start tying it together.
Okay.
I get on the carpet because I don't want to walk. Does anyone want to join me?
Me too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
quick side note, my stuff's working now, so we're good.
Oh, tight. Looks like Gerald's is as well. You there, Gerald?
Nah, it's not working. Like I can't roll. I can't do anything. Like I can't even access my sheet. Like I'm in the page, but I can't do anything. Like I've been rolling this entire time and nothing. Like everything loads slow, and it's just not working.
Yeah, you might have to, like, after we're done with this session, you may have to refresh your like IP or something like that, because it's only us that's having this problem. It's like loading slow for me as well.
Like the music keeps cutting in and out.
That is strange. And yeah, since it is only you two, it's definitely something on your side, which leads me to believe it's something happening maybe in Nashville area for whatever reason, but that sucks.
Let's see if I can at least chat.
I'm about to reset my stuff. I'll be back.
Okay. So yeah, you pull out leather strips and stuff, and you assist Medell for a couple minutes of essentially tying him together, and then he's able to walk. He's still got a limp, but he's able to walk without having to constantly hold on to himself. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And then get on. I pull out my broom and get on it and start to fly off.
Okay. So as you guys are flying away, except for those that aren't able to get on, because not everybody can get on, you start heading back, and you get to that bifurcation of the river, and you can see that everything seems to be as it once was. The water is definitely natural. You can see the exact point where the change kind of started. And just on this trip alone, you've noticed that the walls have kind of gone back to this more natural style. Whereas before, there was this sort of like corruption, I guess you could say, that you had noticed. And you get to that river, and you start to head down the other pathway that you were brought down before to get to this location by one of the myconids. And you start heading down that way, and after about an hour of travel, you end up coming back to the myconid's grove. Let's see. There. So as you guys enter the myconid's grove, the myconids are all there. You can see that most of them are melding right now. But in the middle of the meld, the sovereign ends up becoming alert and looks over and sees you guys coming back. And he stands up and starts to walk towards you all. And he ends up, you watch as his body shivers, and then he shoots out these blue spores for you all to inhale.
I take a deep huff.
I just scratch my nostrils.
And
yeah, I don't resist.
okay. And as you inhale, as you have once done, let's see, is this the... Nope. You have returned back to the grove, but you do not seem to be in one piece. How did everything go?
It was difficult.
I pull out the headdress
As well as you'd
and like
expect.
offer it to him.
A gift?
We have a trophy.
Ooh.
The enemy has been defeated and you guys are safe.
And you watch as, obviously, there's no change in facial expression, but you heard a visible gasp in your head. This is wonderful news for my myconid colony. Thank you very much for your assistance in the matter. What is it that you faced that was able to do such grave damage to you all?
I like send him pictures of what we fought. We're not exactly sure what it was, but it looked like this. And it was coming through a portal.
So he tells you that it doesn't quite work that way. You have to meld in order to share thoughts in that form.
Things.
I cast a minor illusion.
That'll work.
There you go.
I thought he shot out the blue spores. Was I wrong?
He did, but that only allows for telepathic communication. The melding is where you can share thoughts and experiences with one another. Which is
Oh, I
what
thought it
you're
was one
doing.
thing. Sorry.
You're good. That creature does not look like anything I've ever encountered in the Underdark before. Where could it have come from? I want to know more.
I show him more minor illusions of the little creatures that was following it. The lizard man we encountered, and the man in yellow, or the creature in yellow.
I have never seen
Avoid
this
him.
man in yellow before.
The lizard folk, he was talking about how they were collecting the myconids to feed the portal to keep it open. This node, this creature gave it power to do so, and he said that the little creature said that he doesn't have enough power to open up another node on his own, and then this creature in yellow came and killed him because he failed.
Such tragedy has befallen this poor lizard that you speak of. And this creature in yellow, he did not give you any grief?
No, he barely interacted. I tried to speak with him, and he didn't speak back to me. Any of you guys?
No.
Very curious. I do not believe that I've ever encountered such a powerful creature as this thing in yellow, nor is that creature that you have shown me that you were able to defeat. But nonetheless, you say the Myconids are safe now, correct?
At least in
They
this
should be,
area
yeah.
for now. Do you know anything about the surface world, by chance?
And you watch as he shakes his body in, the semblance of a no. We have never been. The sunlight kills us.
Okay.
Why? Do you have a direct correlation with the surface world and these creatures that you have encountered?
No, just the lizard folk. He mentioned something about a red comet, and I'm not sure if that has any meaning to you, but
I've never heard of what a comet could be. First time hearing that word, honestly.
I understand.
What do you think it is?
Are you asking the Sovereign?
Yeah.
What do I think what is?
Never mind. Do you know what the sky is?
And he shakes his head no. No, I do not know what a sky is.
It's like the ceiling rock.
And it looks up. Oh, so that is the sky. The blackness?
No, I don't think he'd understand.
That's okay. It's like that, but for up to higher. So imagine if you dug a hole right here and looked up. That would be their sky, but your ground.
Interesting concept. I did not know that it could go further. On
And
occasion.
that, my sovereign friend, is what she said.
And it looks at you with no emotion at all. I'm sure that's exactly what she said to you, yes. But I do not know who she is. Do you know, wizard friend, who she is?
Let's
And then
change
it looks
the subject.
and it points at Maeve. Is she that he speaks
Let's
of?
segue into another topic. Moving on.
Or perhaps she, and it points at Angelica, as
Definitely
she is not part. Roasted.
Definitely that one.
And Angelica's just sitting there, just in her own world, not hearing a word of what's going on.
So, now that we've taken care of your issue, could you assist us?
Yes, we will give you sanctuary while you rest, and perhaps maybe you would like to meld again, so that we can show you the way to the route that you require.
Yes, thank you. And
Definitely the rest.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go right now, guys. I don't know what your problem is.
I think a rest is much needed.
Are we doing a full rest or a long rest?
You can do either. At this point in time, a full rest will take 2 days.
Damn.
Long rest will take 6 hours.
Oh?
Then
Okay. Well,
Aren't we kind of in a hurry?
I'm in no rush.
We're kind of in a hurry. I feel like long rest is what we should do, just in case. Because we don't, I mean, hopefully this, like, using the mushrooms route will be shorter and won't take as long, but we don't know what kind of perils will still exist on our way there.
Out of the way, I'm a sitting duck because I can't click anything.
Are you at a hit die? Is that what you mean? Or like you actually can't click anything?
I can highlight stuff, but like I can't click anything.
I can click for you if need be.
Okay. I guess so. Are we doing a long rest?
I'm not opposed.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we're in a safe haven, so I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
A safe haven that we can absolutely destroy by ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay. So announce how many hit die you're going to use, and then go ahead and roll them. Click on the long rest button, and then if everything works as I have modified it, you should get your spells and your once a day abilities and all that stuff. But I'm going to try something different, and you only, I think, get a quarter of your hit die back on a long rest now.
Why?
Because so far we've never needed to take a full rest, and the whole point was to try to take more full rest, and we haven't done it yet because there was no need. So I want to try this out.
Okay, just real fast, I need to go to my character sheet.
Yep, and in the bottom left of your portrait, you'll see a little bed icon. The top left.
You see me?
Yep, little bed, yep.
And then, so in the chat, type how many of your hit die you're going to use. Currently, you have 6 out of 10 available.
And then how long does it take to get this back again?
It'll either take a full rest to do, or it will take, depending on how many you use, you get a quarter of them back. I think that rounds up to 3 every long rest.
Okay, I'll do that.
Did y'all see what I typed?
You said snoo snoo like 5 times.
It only said it once on mine. Oh man. Alright.
I only saw. Oh, yeah, I see several now.
So now you'll click on the long rest, which is the half hourglass, and then you'll just click that roll button 6 times, and then once you're done with that, you'll click the rest button.
Oh fuck! I don't think I hit the rest button.
Because yeah, hitting that rest button is what resets your stuff. There you go.
One more. Okay. That should.
Okay. Yay, it worked. Spell book, you've got spell slots back. Beautiful. The only thing that doesn't automatically get taken because they haven't implemented the thing yet are like charges and stuff like that. So if you have charges on weapons or items, anything like that, you'll have to roll them like normal, and then we add them manually.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a scumbag move to round down on hit die gained.
2 dice. Interesting.
Yeah, a quarter of 10 is 2.5.
Yeah, and I mean, in theory, everything in Dungeons and Dragons is rounded down, so I guess that makes sense.
This is homebrew.
True.
Alright, did you see all those hit die I rolled?
Yep, and it gave you back your HP.
I just want you to be aware, Brady, that we all, well, not me, but everybody almost died with full HP going into the combat, so.
Well, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a bicycle. You gotta get back up on it and fall off again.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay. So, as you guys are resting, the Sovereign asks, would you like to meld?
Did you guys learn anything else that would be interesting?
No, but we can show you the route that you seek to get to your locations.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to meld with them anyway, so I will be.
Well, whatever happens, if you're about to do that thing, let me know what you find out.
Will do.
We're gonna meld so we can see the route of where we need to go.
Cool beans.
Okay. And as you guys gather with the myconids, they shoot off their spores, and you start to go back into that translucent state of mind, and you start to see various images, various different things. Much of it you saw the last time you melded, but this time you start to see the big mushroom in the center of the grove, and you see that it inside of it there's a chamber, and down that chamber is a stairwell that leads you to a different route. On that route, you can see there's a or actually at the base of that stairwell, you can see what looks to be bark protruding from the walls and things like that at the base of this big mushroom. And in that same chamber, there's a tunnel that starts to go down, and as you're melding, you see the path as it zigs and zags, and it's almost as if this tunnel was sculpted to get from one point to another, specifically in this cavern. But what you can also tell is that it was there before the myconids started to grow in this colony. But after a certain point, it stops, and then you start to see images of the myconids and their colony again. And as this meld happens for 1 hour of your long rest, Medell is currently putting himself together. He's got some tools that he brought along with him, and you see that he's taken the time to essentially repair himself. So what is it that you got all these leather straps for, Angelica? You some sort of craftswoman?
I pat my armor and use it to meld whatever armor I need. Repair any damages that may happen to my armor. Taught by my father.
Crafting's always been something that us Warforged have always been taught the moment we gain sentience. And honestly, it kind of baffles me that the organic life forms don't take up more of these crafting professions and things like that. So, you have my respect in that regard. As does Rakim.
Oh yeah, him and his potion mixing.
Yes, even though it has no real effect on folks like myself, and perhaps even you, because of you being dead and all. But I still respect that he is able to help those in need, but also make those that he wishes to perish.
Right. Well, I don't know. We all have our old little spiels that we go about. It is actually quite amazing. They're seeing. Would I consider you a robot?
Kinda looks at you. I don't know what that term means, but you can just call me inorganic. A puppet, maybe. I've been called that before. Many Warforged are called puppets. But I don't prefer it. In fact, if my blood could boil, it would.
Now, do you have a master?
Not I, no. Most Warforged that are sentient have their own free will, much like any other organic creature. But take a look back on those other Warforged that you encountered on the ship, the Nameless. Do you remember them? They never spoke because they do not have voice boxes installed. They do as they are programmed, and that is all. They can have their programs switched if they are needed elsewhere, or perhaps maybe someone else procures them. But they are the true puppets. They do what they are told, and nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, man. Well, I guess that is a huge difference then.
Yes, I would say so. And the thing is, a lot of these empires prefer the Nameless over Warforged with sentience. They like having that type of control. And I'll be honest, it infuriates me.
Yeah, I can see why that would, if you had skin, it would get under it.
Holy shit.
Holy, what the hell?
I think Gerald is working now.
Yeah.
What's Luca doing?
That's so weird. I
Man.
wonder what's going on. I don't even know. He's not even in here, so I don't know what he's doing. Yes. Sentient Warforged do not appreciate being compared to...
God, dog.
Yeah.
Oh wait, didn't he say he was doing a bunch of rolls and stuff and they weren't popping up?
Yep.
They finally caught up.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that's probably going to happen for quite a bit. So... Yes. Word to the wise. If you do encounter the sentient Warforged, do not compare them to the Nameless. Unless you wish to die, or at least make a very, 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 very bad enemy.
Noted.
What up, Gerald? Is your stuff working on your end? Or was it just a, I don't know. Because we've got like 1,000 strength and acrobatic rolls from you just now.
Bro, I pressed it one time and it did all that.
Oh, damn.
When you said you were doing other ones earlier, I wonder if like that released it somehow and just flooded it.
Yeah, I know essentially the only thing I can do is roll for whatever. I just can't pull up my character sheet.
That's
Good
weird.
now. I can do everything as normal now.
Oh. Yeah, so it must have just been something going on in the Nashville area for whatever reason. Very strange, but at least it's working. If you want, everybody's taking a long rest, so you can declare how many hit die you want to use and then do the resting thing. I've changed it now to where on a long rest you only get a quarter of your hit die now, to kind of make it to where we utilize the full rest more often, because we've actually never used it since I implemented that rule. So I want to see if this makes it to where it's a little more challenging with the combats and the resting and things like that, but we'll see. If it's too difficult, we will go back.
I think we've did full. We've done full.
If it's too difficult, we'll all die. That's the only way to find out if it's too difficult.
Yeah, true. But no, there has not been a full rest, I don't believe.
I could have sworn because we were having downtime and you asked everybody, yeah, if there's anything you want to do, go ahead and let me know, and et cetera, et cetera.
That's true. Maybe that was a full
I think
rest.
we did do one.
Because I do remember we did downtime for sure, but I don't know if I remember counting it as a full rest because you guys were already at max everything, so I didn't think it mattered.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, Medell,
So what kind of rest are we doing?
full rest or long rest, my bad.
Long rest.
So just declare you've got 8 hit die left. You'll end up getting 2 of them at the end of your long rest. You'll get 2 of them back, I should say. So you can use up to 8 and you'll get back to 2. But yeah, just declare in the chat how many you're going to use and then do the thing. You're not rolling any hit die?
No, I was trying to, and it didn't.
Oh, it didn't do it. Yeah, when you click the long rest button, you'll click the roll as many times as you are rolling your hit die. And I will have to change. Let me do this thing. Edit. Page. Go. Cool. That works. So Medell looks at you, Angelica, as he's starting to repair himself. And, so got a question for you, if you're up to answering. What do you think of your lad Snoopy there?
He's a crafty one.
I'd say he's more than that. I feel like he almost single-handedly took down that creature we fight. I don't know if you could see everything that he was doing, but it was rather scary, actually, to see such a small package of precision, stealth, and death. And yet he's got a very confusing personality, if I do say so myself. He seems so bubbly, so eager to meet people, but he also doesn't have any semblance of what it is to take a life, or what the true repercussions of doing so is.
And that's the funny thing about that. It's exactly why I said what I said earlier. Yeah, he's definitely the hardest hitter out of all of us, for sure. Which is why I'm wary of any magical folk that could potentially charm him, because he's quite prone to that. And I've seen what he can do when he's charmed. Would rather not see that happen again.
Yes, I could agree with that. I'm glad that he's on my team as of now. I don't think that I would have done the things that I did to Rakim's old group, had I known they had anyone as powerful as this tiny little creature.
What happened with that anyway? You definitely have history with Rakim, so what's the deal with that?
It's not that long of a story, actually. We've only met twice before. First time was outside of the city of Kron, right before the Demon Lord Yanagu was summoned. And then, well, actually, I guess it was right after he was summoned. And I believe they engaged in combat with the Demon Lord, which is really stupid. But they did, and realized real quickly they were losing, so they started to flee. But luckily, me and my men had already set up a perimeter to catch any stragglers or any fleers from the battle, and we held them up and took their coin. And then we let them pass.
Yeesh.
Yes.
That is, I see why he has some ill will towards you.
Yes. The second time that I met him was actually in his desert, the Ziridel Desert. We were posed as Titanian soldiers, and we had started to attack their trade routes, trying to spark a little controversy between the Ziridel and Titanian Empire, you know? Just a little bit of subterfuge. Something that we were paid to do. We didn't really care if war broke out or not. We were getting paid handsomely. And he and his group happened to be, or there was a member of his group that happened to be one of the princes of Titania in disguise. And they proceeded to destroy us. But They didn't destroy me. In fact, they brought me back to an artificer to try to get a hold of my memory core. But luckily, I was able to self-destruct beforehand. And actually, whatever they did caused a bunch of ruckus, and they never came back to get any of the information that I did accidentally leak, before Sigorius ended up destroying a lot of that city.
Hold on, you self-destruct?
Yes, all Warforged have the capability if they choose so, and because of my line of work, I have a module installed to do that. It's not very often that I've ever had to threaten using it before, and in all honesty, I've only ever used it twice. Once when they almost cracked my memory encryption, and another time just for fun to see how it would work. When I was rebuilt, I went back to that location, and it would seem that that little artificer that they had hired to crack my memory core was killed by the orcs. Poor guy. He was very talented at what he could do. I almost wanted to hire him myself, see what kind of modifications he could do.
Holy hell. Well, sounds like you have a bit of history on your hands.
Yes, it is quite marvelous, I'll be honest, to be a Warforged. It's almost like being immortal. You do lose a little bit of memory whenever you do kick the buckets, but usually you don't really want to see the gruesome end. I've died several times, and I've been rebuilt each time, memory intact.
So, as a Warforged, you get like upgrades and everything like that to your technology or something like that?
If you know the right artificers, yes. And how about it, if you ever find one, maybe you could point him or point me in his direction. I would be very thankful. Most of the artificers that I know in my line of work have already done as much as they could do. But I seek more. We all seek more.
Yes. Power definitely does run the world, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. And I'll be honest, having that power just protects my self-image. It's quite nice to be able to show people that I'm not just some puppet, as they call me. Those folks usually get cut down real quick. And then afterwards, people start to fear you. They start to remember your face. And with that power that I seek comes the respect that I crave from organics.
Sounds about as tempting as let's say taking over an entire village of people.
Perhaps, yes. Especially because if you take over the village, they all respect you, and they fear you at the same time. But why take over a village when you could take so much more? A kingdom, perhaps? Or maybe the world?
Touché.
What are your ambitions, Angelica? If you don't mind my asking.
In all honesty, I just want to pick up where my father left off. Find his clan and figure out more of his teachings that he wasn't able to teach me by his master.
How about this? If we make it out of this whole mess alive, once we get back to the City of Guilds, just because I've enjoyed our conversation so much, I'll put in a good word and maybe try to find out more about your father and his tribe. And you'll keep your end of the bargain and find me an artificer one day that can make me better.
Sounds like a deal. I put a hand out.
And he stands up and hobbles over to you and does the same. I have grown quite fond of you, in all honesty. I respect you more than the rest of your friends.
Well, I'm glad I'm on your good side, at least.
Everyone's on my good side until they give me a reason not to be.
Yeah, me and you think a lot in that regard.
So as the rest of you are in the meld, as it starts to slowly fade away, like all of you are starting to come back to consciousness, being able to perceive your surroundings and stuff. And Alfric, as you're fading out of yours, you start to see like this flicker of a sort of a red image. And then the image starts to become a little bit more focused, and it's a red face of what looks to be some sort of like demon creature with these really large black horns, and it just looks at you and it starts to laugh. Alfric. But then as you come back to 100% consciousness, you start to look around. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything that resembles that voice or that vision you just saw.
Lovely. I take a mental
In my bed,
note.
real quick. It actually sounds...
Much more terrifying.
Lovely. I make a mental note of all the nightmares I will, I've been having lately, or soon to be having.
The Sovereign, you watch as its little beady eyes open. Well, now that you know the route, perhaps you will rest for a while. Was there any type of sustenance that you require? We have very, very little for organic creatures to eat, besides that of rotting corpses, unless that is on your menu, of course.
No, I can make my own food. Thank you, though. What did you mean by rotting corpses, however?
I have something in my pack, but thank you.
Well, many creatures that die on the outskirts of our colony we bring back because they bring sustenance to the soil and allow us to make more sproutlings.
Can I see what you're referring to? I'm
Sure.
curious.
Sounds tasty to me.
He stands up and he starts to walk towards the backside of the cavern, a portion that you can tell there's more myconids, more of the adult myconids that are sort of surrounding this cavern than all the other locations in this grove. And from what he tells you, this is where we cultivate our sproutlings. And as he starts to walk forward, all the myconids essentially uproot and move out of the way and allow him to pass and allow you all to pass. And as you go into this smaller chamber, probably about the size of, I would say the size of a decent foyer to like a mansion or something like that, you just see bodies of elves, of dwarves, of those little creatures that you guys had encountered on your way into the Underdark. And you can see that they're blooming with mushrooms and other fungi and things like that. And a lot of them you can see have started to slowly decompose into the soil around. And in that decomposition, you can see the sproutlings that are kind of just sitting or nestled about the body, absorbing the nutrients and things like that.
Okay.
It is the cycle of life at its finest. We do not take their lives, but we utilize the resources that they left behind in death.
Are they all dead when they come here?
Yes.
And these are the dwarves and the
No.
drow?
Duragar and Drow. And some of these are ettercaps, and we have a couple of hook horrors that are almost decomposed completely. And he points over, and you can see these creatures and things like that. And Yeah, you see, like, the bodies are almost completely decomposed for most of them. The Drow and the Duragar, though, you watch as the Myconid starts to shudder, and then he shoots off those red spores. And as he does that, the bodies of the Duragar and the Drow start to animate and come to life. We use these ones in particular to defend our home, much like when you all invaded us on accident.
I see. Are they clothed? And, like, do they have any of their items still on them?
Yeah, what you can tell is that all of their mundane items and equipment are still on them. You don't see anything that looks of particular, like, good value. Even, like, some of the swords and things that the Drow have, you can actually see that they're starting to rust and erode. Just because of the amount of time that they've been here in this state.
Okay. Would I be able to find like 10 daggers?
10 daggers. Roll a investigation check.
Let me find where that's at. That, and then I'm gonna do this.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna guidance when I ask for a roll?
Yeah.
Nah, you're investigating,
I know.
so you would do, yeah.
Yeah.
So a 28, yeah, you end up finding 10 rusted daggers.
Takes them.
The only thing that the rusted part of it does is that it makes it less valuable if you were to resell them in their current state. Otherwise, they act as a regular dagger, and you can just edit your dagger that you currently have and just put that you have 11 of them.
Okay, so would it be charges or no? The amount right
Yeah.
there. I see.
And actually,
Okay.
what we're gonna do is this: we're gonna put a new dagger on your sheet. We're going to we'll make this 10. Oh.
Okay.
And then I'm going to call those 10 daggers rusted daggers, so we know.
Okay. Sounds good.
Boom. Rusted.
That's all I want from this, from this area, really.
Is there anything else anyone else wants from the Myconid Grove? Or nursery, rather?
No.
Yes. Hopefully you've learned. And perhaps maybe you would think that when you're close to death, you could come and visit and give back your nutrients to the soil.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Yes, we would be very appreciative to use your decomposing corpse to fuel our colony.
Tasty.
Now, let me show you to a location where you can get rest, where none of the Myconids will bother you, but we will be within distance to help.
Well, thank you.
And he brings you out of the nursery area and brings you to one of the toadstools that essentially looks like a pretty decent sized tree in a way. And near it, there's like this nice steady stream of water. And like he said, the Myconids aren't super populated in this very location, but you can still see in the distance where they are all just going out about their business, melding and things like that. When you're ready to leave, meet me at the giant mushroom, and I will make sure that your passage is open so that you can go to your route.
Thank you.
Will do. Thanks.
Yes, thank you for saving our colony. And he walks away, and if you guys wish to talk to each other about anything, Medelgin is there as or actually he joins you guys. He didn't join you to the nursery area, and he sits down and starts to repair himself. I'll be honest, I didn't think that we'd run into that much of an issue down here, so I apologize. That was not in our itinerary.
Well,
Well, it certainly made for an interesting afternoon.
Agreed.
yeah, it's better us run to this than what was in that other cavern with those things.
Eticaps are not that rambunctious, I guess, but it really all depends on how many of them there are.
So, what exactly did you guys find before you got to me? Or found me?
Eticaps.
Cave creatures.
What is an ettercap exactly?
He pulls out, or you watch him bring his hand up, and his index finger unhinges and flips into a pin. And then he grabs a piece of paper from his pouch and he starts to scribble it like iRobot does, making like the Mona Lisa or whatever the fuck it does. And he shows you an ettercap.
Oh. Okay.
He's like basically acting like a printer right now. Use your.
Oh. And this is
They're
all
like
you
a
worked
humanoid spider kind of thing. They're
out?
not.
How many?
Oh, go ahead.
No, how many did you come across, and where were they at?
I believe it was a pack of 6, 7 maybe? I couldn't really tell, it was much too dark, but luckily, because of your undead friend, and he points to Angelica, they were unable to trace us as we came into the Myconid Grove, looking for refuge.
Okay.
I honestly have never been in here before, as he starts to look around, and you can tell he's making a mental note of a lot of the structures and things like that. But now that I have made friends with these Myconids, I believe I could use this route for my escort duties in the future.
Of course. I look over to Rakim and ask him, does he know anything more about the Temple of Kasuth we're going to? Or the Tower of Kasuth? Is Gerald there? Or...
I do not know.
Okay.
I didn't see a BRB message, and he doesn't have himself muted.
No, it's all good.
Oh. So, do we have anything else to do around here before we keep moving? I'm pretty rested up now.
I think we're just resting. Alfred,
Yeah.
would you want to join us, or do you want to continue with your mushroom studies? It's pretty dangerous what we're doing, but...
While I'm here, I have to do my little side trek, but it won't. I don't think it should take too long. If you guys want to wait for me, I can go out and meet you after. But I definitely like to accompany you afterwards, if that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Are you, Angie?
Yeah, sounds like studying penises is hard work.
Say what now?
Oh, nothing.
Snoop, are you okay with Alfred joining us?
Yeah. And I send you a message. More cannon fodder.
I look over to Angie and ask what did he say about penises now? What?
Wait, who'd you send that message to?
To you.
You asked the
Me?
question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I laugh out loud hysterically.
Is something wrong? You okay?
Oh no, Snoopy just told a great joke, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Hey, who's talking about penises? I didn't say anything about penises. Where you like
just
penis?
did like 5 seconds. No, you just did like 5 seconds ago. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's okay if you're into that. I mean, I won't judge.
No, you're the one that brought it up.
No. I mean, hey, secrets between us, you know. If I see someone who's like also into that, I'll be like, hey, my buddy Alfred here.
No. Well, anyway, I got a question for you, Angelica. Have you always been undead?
As of a week ago.
And how did you come back exactly?
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah.
Did our fur companion or your fur companion help with this?
Oh yeah, he totally brought me back to life.
Does he know magic? Or
yeah,
I guess he does know magic because he's been talking to me, you know. And
he has the magic of the word, magic of his mouth.
So what kind of magic do you know? I look over to Snoopy.
I know how to talk to you in your mind, and I know how to teleport.
Do I see a spell book on you at all, or anything in that nature?
I don't know. Do you?
I mean, do I, Brady? I mean, like a visible one.
No.
So, I mean, you're not like a wizard by any means. I'm not sure how exactly. It's something that you learned, so you probably gifted this power, but...
So silly.
Well, I'll just leave it at that you know some magics. But... Were you always a dog?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I've never met a talking dog before, so this is a first for me.
Snoop's one of a kind.
Slowly going insane.
I'm not a dog. What are you talking about?
What do you mean you're not a dog? You...
I'm a normal human being. I like look.
Yeah, see, Alfred, his story is he got sealed by an ancient witch, and he's stuck in a dog's body. His consciousness transfers from dog to dog, so he just lives the life, and then eventually his life force transfers to another dog.
No. I'm just a normal human being. And I lick my butthole.
Okay.
Yeah, see? That's how you know he's been going on for so long. So he's so used to the mannerisms of canine antics.
I look over to Angelica.
Holy shit.
So, has he died?
Yeah. It was hard. He told me his whole story. It's like, he was a great wizard, and then some powerful demon man grabbed him by the throat and lifted him up. It's like, I will take your powers now and take everything that belongs to you. But in turn, I will seal you in the hound. And then he sealed him inside of the dog. And now all of his power, except for message and the ability to teleport, are the only things he can do. So we're on an epic quest to unseal that magic.
I look over to Maeve and ask, is this true?
Yep.
Wait, I look like a dog?
I believe I have a mirror, don't I, Brady? Or do I not?
You should.
Yeah, I think I do. I want to double check. I could have sworn.
Yeah, you got a steel mirror.
Yeah. I take out the steel mirror and I show him.
Oh my god!
Do you not notice like the height, like depth perception sort of like thing you got going on? How you're always like shorter than everybody else? I think it needs a moment.
I just never put it together.
You know, people don't lick their own butts, right?
Wouldn't you if you could?
No. Poop comes from there. That's gross.
Yeah, but
No,
dirty.
No. Angelica, don't. Nope.
You see that, but wait till he sits down and his Christmas light comes out.
No. Anyway.
I blink into your lap and try to give you kisses.
I politely get up.
Hey, open your
roll.
mouth. Let him tongue all in there.
It'll be Snoopy versus Alfric in a athletics check to see if the kisses are received. Especially and Snoopy, because you can blink and stuff, you get a advantage to it. Or my bad, acrobatics.
Oh, acrobatics?
Yeah, acrobatics.
Okay.
Unfortunate for you.
Yours is a +4. Yeah. So
he gets to the point like his snout's like
You get the natty running and still loose.
so you watch as Snoopy starts to come over, and he's got his tongue out, and you can kind of tell what he's about to do. So you stand up and start to walk away, and he blinks on your shoulder and gives you a nice lick on the cheek. And then he gets like right on the the crease of your lips with it, and then he blinks away, and you're like, "Aw!" And Snoopy's like, oh, "I left you a gift."
Thank you. And I prestidigitation the smell and the saliva off me.
Very well. So you watch as Alfred cleans his face almost instantly.
Also, is anyone hungry? I have some food here.
Wait, you're a wizard, right?
Yeah.
I guess there really is a difference between intelligence and wisdom.
Well, thank you.
Here to answer your question, I am hungry. I'm like looking at him and like start licking my lips.
Okay. I cast Good Berry.
Good berry.
No.
Cat fan will have one too, please. He'll have Angie's berry.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll just let you know. Yeah, I can lick you better than him.
Oh, interesting. One moment as
I scooch over towards him.
And Medell starts to come closer. Yeah, I think I've seen her do this trick. It's actually quite appetizing.
Let's not do this trick.
As her like flaps of dead meat are still dangling from her previous battles.
And I grab, I attempt to grab Alfred's head and get real close with my tongue.
So that'll be a grapple check. So your athletics versus Alfred's acrobatics or athletics, your choice. Unless you cast a spell.
Oh no.
No!
Well, I'm not supposed to use that in my determination, so.
Correct, and I feel that you would have instantly said you were going to cast a spell, so
pick
one of the two, please.
I am. I am going to cast, let me see which one I want to do.
Her mouth is getting closer to your side of your face.
I'm a Misty Step away.
7th level fireball, that's what I'm talking about.
Alfred.
I Misty Step away, and I'm gonna go on for a walk. You guys stay here. I'll catch you in a bit.
And as he does that, you just hear me like clasp my teeth. Like,
I walk way faster.
Oh man.
I just burst out laughing when he leaves, like gets out of sight.
Same.
he just moonwalks out of here.
I mean, considering he took that pretty well, I think it's pretty safe that we can trust him to at least,
Hey, yeah, he's perfect for the group. That was a perfect test, Alfred. You passed. Just don't sleep around
you anymore.
Yeah, if I hear him, I start lightly jogging at this point.
Anyways, so what did you all see in that little fungi penis vision?
What do you mean, the demon that said Alfred's name?
You guys didn't hear that. No, only
We didn't
Alfred
hear
saw
that?
that.
Just Alfred? Okay.
The fungal penis vision.
We didn't really see much this second time. Just the route to get to where we need to
Yeah,
go.
we know how to get there now.
Ooh. Okay. Man. Well, Hey.
What'd you do while we were doing that?
Oh, me and this fella here. I put a hand on Model's shoulder. Yeah, we got to know each other. Pretty cool guy.
Yeah, he seems so trustworthy.
I think Zuka begs to differ.
Hey, Zuka. He told me about your guys' history. I'm sorry for that happening, you know? Sucks. But you know, when there's war, I mean, there's always an in-between, right?
Bro, what are you even talking about?
Oh, no, just ignore me. Just, I didn't say anything.
Oh, and he continues to ignore her.
Hey, Zuka, question. So, what was your childhood like? You know, being a king and all, and...
Nothing special. Just royalty. Learning how to be royalty. Nothing too much to brag about. I really don't like talking about it. Not like that. I don't mind talking about it, but I just would like to, you know, I never like to let people know my royal upbringing. I just wanted to be accepted as one of you.
Oh.
Zuka,
Are you into making potions?
You might check your privilege there, my friend. Saying that a royal upbringing isn't special.
I know, right? That's like saying Maeve being a noble isn't special. Hey, Maeve, how was your childhood?
So Zuka, what got you into making potions?
In all honesty, it's just something that I became natural at. And my master from the City of Guilds really helped out with that.
Interesting.
So real quick, just to go back to when Angelica was doing her little tongue thing.
No!
Exactly.
There you go, Alfred.
The plan was to lick him all over his face.
Was there hair waving at the same time? Was there like a mysterious breeze that happened as well?
Like the little hair strings you see in the front of my scalp. It was just wiggling.
Oh dear.
So
as Maeve asked me the question about the potions, I'm gonna throw a healing grenade in the air.
Okay.
Ooh. So what got you into making drugs?
Sucks to be Alfric.
Yeah, jeez. Alfric, you do not get the 26 healing.
I do not get the 26 healing.
So update your.
How come?
Because he walked away. Yeah, he walked away.
Oh, like
He bamfed out of there when Angie started acting all weird.
Yeah. I did not want to get molested, so I left.
At this moment,
can I like delete this thing?
And trying to break him in.
Oh yeah, I'll take care of that for you. Bye bye. And I added the HP for you, Zuka.
Maeve could use it too.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, Maeve too.
Is
what is your okay, cool. We HP. Anyway,
damn, it shouldn't have extended any hit die.
It's weird how I can interact with all the UI on here right now, but I can't like pull up my character sheet.
And you're double clicking. Have you tried going from the actors directory?
Yeah, it's not pulling up. Like it did pull up like when you brought up those creatures. Like it brought that up, but that's about the only page I've gotten ever since.
Huh. That is
So-
weird.
At least I'm able to like roll and whatnot, so I'm good. It's whatever. We're not doing anything anyway. Hey, so Zuka, you didn't answer that question though. So what got you into mixing and matching?
Oh, did y'all not hear my answer?
Mm-mm.
Like,
It came to him naturally. Jeez, listen.
Oh, he learned natural. Oh, that's
And
like.
then his master helped him with it. Good lord.
So do you make like drugs too, like psychedelics?
You care to find out?
I mean, not that it will
I mean,
affect
that's
me.
why he asked. Usually you ask something, they're trying to find out something. That'd be
Not that,
silly.
not that it will
No.
affect me, but I mean, you could try.
All right.
Let's get
So,
weird.
are you willingly
Let's
wanting me
get
to do
weird.
this?
Yeah. Where's her harm?
Okay.
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me.
Wisdom saving throw, please, Angelica. Oh. So
Have you guys
the
seen South Park when like it's major boobage when they go into the boob world? That song.
One white ticket at midnight.
Yeah, that's another one in there. That's what I imagine playing. Takes one sniff of it. Call it heavy metal.
Okay, so what happens now?
so the last 2 minutes
oh.
you completely forget.
Yeah, and then like how I'm applying it to you, I kind of just slap you in the face with it.
Which you also forget that you got slapped. So you watch as Zuka, he makes his concoction, and then you watch as he's got it in a vial, and he holds out his hand, and he essentially fakes you out and like holds out like his hand towards you for you to do the same thing. And as he does it, he quickly pours the concoction in his hand, rears back, and smacks the shit out of you. And the moment that his hand contacts your face and the recoil's done, you sort of like come back to a state of consciousness, looking at the ground like you had just got slapped in that same position. And then you kind of look up and you look at Zuka, and he's just kind of standing there looking at you. You notice that Maeve and Meldon and Snoopy are looking at you. You don't see Alfric. You're not sure where he could have been. The last thing you remember was essentially everybody sitting down, but now you're standing up.
Forgot what I was thinking about.
Were those
Well,
good drugs?
What? Drugs? Say anything about drugs.
You asked Zuko for some good.
Did I?
And obviously it was that good. And I kind
Clearly,
of
considering you can't remember.
You were out for like 3 days. We already lit the candle and we're headed back. We had to leave you behind.
3 days. What?
Alfred died on the way.
Did he? Fucker just
Yeah, you
joined us.
missed it all. Well, if you hadn't been such a druggie, you probably could have helped save him.
Druggie? I'm not a druggie. What?
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Huh. And I sit
The
down.
first step
on
is
the-
admitting it.
yeah, I mean, I can help you through this. I can break your habit. So if you really want help, I can do that.
I sit down on the ground, like, just ignored all that, like, just trying to figure out what the hell, and just go into deep thought. Huh. Really? What the fuck? What? Like, just very clueless on what the hell happened.
Would anybody else like a hit? And I
No,
look
I'm
at
good.
Snoopy and Maeve.
Nah.
Oh, okay,
Clean,
cool.
clean body, clean mind.
You see that my lack of remembering what the hell happened like is taking a toll on me, and I'm just losing my temper. What the hell happened? Jesus!
Keep it down, Angelica. We're on our way home, like your friend suggested.
Can't believe you got Alfred killed.
Yes, and by his own hand. I thought you were afraid of Snoopy getting charmed, but had you ever considered yourself? You snapped that poor boy's neck.
Really? Oh. Huh. Really?
It's quite concerning that you're pleased with your abilities.
I
And
do,
he cast a glance to the rest of the group. Quite concerning.
I do the Cell from Dragon Ball Z where like he just turned perfect. He's just looking at his hand and opening it and closing it. I did that. What? What's going on? What am I turning into? Just having a nervous breakdown.
3 Days Grace starts playing.
Okay.
Alright,
Well-
let's go to bed. How many years have we been under this Underdark? Man, we've told a lot of lies.
Are you saying all that out loud?
No, I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure.
No. I got attacked by a dog.
Oh no.
By your own.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Brady, in about like 20 minutes or so, I start to come back with an eye shot of the camp.
Okay.
And then on the outskirts of the camp, I sit and I start to cast Tiny Hut.
Okay. So you guys watch after you're starting to get a little cozy and sort of hunkering down with the tomfoolery. Alfric finally pops back. And Angelica, you notice that Alfric is right there and looks perfectly fine.
Alfred! You're alive!
I do so quietly, and I speed up my spell.
I get up and start speed walking towards him in his direction.
Do I have enough time to cast it before he gets here, Brady?
Angelica, roll a athletics, and the DC is 15. Or acrobatics, my bad. I keep saying the wrong fucking one. Yeah, you do actually finish your spell, and
Okay.
within mere moments of Angelica like about to like jump and tackle you from afar, you finish the last components of your spell, and the tiny hut appears, and Angelica dives into
I do not allow anyone in but me.
Angelica dives and hits the hard surface of this dome that just suddenly appeared.
Huh?
Splinter has to use the bathroom, so I will be right back.
What the hell? Hey,
I can hear
Alfred,
you. Yes.
you're alive?
That is correct. Yes, I'm very much alive.
They told me I killed you. How are you alive?
I've been gone for 20 minutes, like 30 minutes at most. What are you talking about?
Hey,
the hell?
I send you a message, Alfric, and I say, pretend you're a ghost. He thinks he killed you. Trust me.
This is your conscious speaking.
God damn it!
This is your conscious speaking. I am a poltergeist from beyond the grave. You must atone for your sins, for brutally murdering me.
How am I supposed to atone for my sins if you won't let me in?
That's your problem. I'm not even here.
Will I have to tear this apart so I can
you're
get
still
to you?
hallucinating off of those drugs. You're still hallucinating. There's not. Go back to the camp.
What?
Go back to the camp.
I have to atone. I pull back a punch as if I'm getting ready to punch the tiny. I have to atone.
Okay, well, you must do so away from here.
Alfred, come on, please, talk to me. I get closer to the hut. Please,
I continue to ignore you.
Please, Alfred. I'm acting like it's like a glass window and like trying to breathe on it and like write something. Alfred.
The other way and just ignore you.
Alfred. I punched the ground. Alfred. Yeah.
Come take a nap.
I don't want a nap.
You need to come down a little bit.
I don't want a nap. Please. Alfred, just let me free you.
I continue to ignore you.
Angelica gets up and like wipes her eyes and like kicks dirt and then just walks back towards the group and like she sits with the group but like turns away from the group and sulks.
You guys all watch as this happens.
Don't worry, all will be resolved tomorrow. Just take a rest, take a nap, and then you'll be good as new tomorrow.
Want a nap? And then I like shoo you away, like want a nap.
All right. That was fun.
Is there a giant rock anywhere?
Sure.
I spot the giant rock and then start walking towards it. Maybe he's a demon. Maybe he's a demon and I have to take that demon out. Maybe he's a corrupt soul. And I like proceed to attempt to pick up that rock.
All right. This time, a athletics check.
Oh shit.
So you guys watch as Angelica's pondering these life choices and decisions and starts to sort of talk to herself, and she's getting louder and louder as she does so. She walks over to this big rock and she grabs it, much like Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 5, and starts to lift it over her head, and she looks like Atlas at this very moment.
Angie, put it down. We were just kidding. Alfred's alive. He's fine. You don't need to crush him to death with a giant rock.
You see me proceed like, Alfred!
Angie, put it down!
What are you guys doing out there? Stop it. I'm trying to sleep.
You must die, demon of Alfred.
Listen, the dog wanted me to mess with you, okay? He's just playing a trick on you. Please, just go.
Oh, you're trying to play a trick on me, huh? You want me to stop what I'm doing.
Yes.
I have to atone.
Go to
for my
sleep.
sin.
Go to sleep.
I look at Zuka. I'm like, you might want to make another one of those.
Like I'm just screaming like Bloody Murray, like slowly walking towards the hut.
I'm erased like the past 5 minutes though. 5 or 10 minutes.
She's slowly walking towards Alfric's hut. Slowly. And you just see the fuel of anger and tears in her eyes.
I
Zuka.
continue to ignore.
Yeah,
Zuka, we
Alfred
need another
definitely sees
potion.
all this.
You see, like, Alfric, if you see her face, you see steam coming out of her mouth. She's just huffing and puffing. Demon. Scum.
I scream out, Maeve, does he always do this? Or she always do this?
This is new.
Snoopy, can you just tell him that you're playing a joke, please?
I tried.
No, Snoopy. The dog.
Yes.
Tell him you're messing with him.
At this point, she is like 10 feet from the hut, approaching 9 feet.
Hey, Angie. Angie, I'm teasing. Nothing happened. You just kidding. You totally killed him.
At this point, you're seeing
No.
her at a borderline rage, but she's not full on rage yet. You still see the steam forming out of her mouth.
I just go to sleep because I know the hut's gonna be fine. So
Roasted.
And she approaches the hut, and with her fingers buried deep into the rock, she proceeds to try and beat the hut down.
So try as you might, it will never go down.
And then after she does that, she just throws whatever debris is left of the rock on the ground, and then just walk back to the group and sits down. Didn't work. Oh well. And then just chills, takes out a journal and starts writing in it.
Noted.
I just like look at Maeve and Zuka and just go like, oof.
Bird?
So you said that wasn't real, right? Look at Maeve.
No. You just blacked out and forgot like the past 2 minutes.
Maybe don't ask Zuka for drugs again.
Yeah, maybe we learned a valuable lesson from this.
She looks at Zuka. Did I really ask you for drugs?
Yes, you did, and you're very dramatic. Pretty good though. Pretty good though.
And after Zuka's done doing that, you watch as he starts to cackle, kind of like this. I'm just joking.
All right. Noted.
No, that happens.
And you see Angelica just write in the journal like, all right, and then says a little bit, like makes it a little audible, and just, all right, noted. Zuka is a known scumbag. And proceeds to just write about the adventures that happened so far.
Okay. And then the rest of you, if you have any specific activities that you do while you are in the process of resting, Alfric, Did you open up the tiny hut for everybody to come in yet, or just yourself?
No, just myself. I'm gonna, sleep in it by myself for tonight.
Noted. So Alfred's in his tiny hut. Oh, go ahead.
Can I try to reach out to the Morrigan, or would that not count as part of the long rest? Like, would I have to do it afterwards?
No, you can do that during the long rest.
Okay, yeah. I want to try and contact the Morrigan.
Roll Arcana. You can essentially try every hour. Every hour that you do try, the DC drops. And you've got essentially 3 hours to... Oh, well, there you go. So Maeve, you...
I think I do it.
Yeah. Maeve, you sit down and you draw some stuff in the dirt. Symbols, things of that to the Morrigan. Cadfan jumps from your shoulder and gets in the middle of these symbols, and you summon your scythe. Your friends have seen you summon the scythe before. It literally just pops in from thin air, and you hold it across your lap as you breathe in and you start to chant. And as you do, there's this sort of aura that is around your body. And as you continue to get into your chanting, eventually this aura transfers to Cadfan. Cadfan's eyes go from this deep black to a stark white color. Yes, Maeve, you call for us?
I just wanted to update you that there's more going on than we might think there is. We found out that there's just a bunch of demons everywhere, and we almost died.
But alas, you didn't.
Do you guys know? Yes, we didn't. But have you guys heard of a being or a demon that wears yellow?
You hear a moment of pause. Did this being in yellow, this demon you speak of, what do they call themselves? Or rather, what do others that worship it call them?
The lizard folk that was following him called him the King in Yellow.
And Cadfan, you can see, starts to sort of twitch a little bit. And you see, like, the connection to the Morrigan is starting to fade. And eventually, Cadfan goes back to being still. The eyes stop blinking and going from black to white to black to white to black to white very rapidly. And eventually, the Morrigan responds, I have not heard of the King in Yellow in quite some time, over a millennia. And you're telling me that you ran into a worshipper of the King in Yellow today?
Well, not just a worshipper, but he walked by us and seemed to ignore us.
The King in Yellow.
Yes.
May we perceive this through your mind?
Of course.
Cadfan hops up onto your shoulder, and your vision goes blank. Your senses go blank for a split second. And then they come back. Cadfan jumps off into the little symbol that you've created. And you've had this happen before. The Morrigan is essentially taking control of your consciousness, of your whole being, for just a fraction of a second. And in that fraction, they're able to retain all of your memories, all of your thoughts, every experience you've ever had up to that point. And they come back. This is quite troubling, Maeve. It does not seem that the king is particularly interested in you as he is in summoning these portals. And from what we know...
Why would he be interested in me?
He's not. He's interested in these portals to summon what that lizard folk mocks called the Scarlet Comet. Which, if that were to happen, and unfortunately, unless you go closing all these portals, it inevitably will, the Scarlet Comet is not a normal meteorite. It is a living being that consumes entire planets.
Oh.
The Morrigan have been working with other deities to try to put a stop to it, but the King in Yellow is quite a powerful being. We do not understand where he gets his powers from. We do not even know where he came from in the first place. We do not know of any way to track him or to overlook his activities except for through his followers. The King in Yellow, I dare say, far surpasses even our combined power. This is very troubling, Maeve, and I implore you to do your best to rid the world of this situation. Although, from what Mock said, is that if you were to close another portal, the king would put a target on you and your group. We will start thinking of perhaps another way that we can stop this Scarlet Comet. Do not worry about it for now.
But lighting the pillars help?
Lighting the pillars will allow the Lightbringers to start to interact with the material plane once again. And unfortunately, I do not even believe that those deities with their power combined exceed that of the King in Yellow. He is a very, very powerful creature. Not something to be toyed with or to be looked down on. So be careful.
Understood.
One misstep,
we will,
and you will be oblivion. I have seen him erase the memory of people through eons. We will contact you when we find out more. For now, focus on things that you can influence.
Will do. Thank you.
Cadfan's eyes go back to the black globes, and he hops back onto your shoulder and perches like normal. If you wish to speak to your party about all that, you still can.
I'll think on it a little bit.
Okay. Anything else from anybody?
She, Angelica just proceeds to write in her journal.
I'd like to contact the Deep Dark One.
The Deep Dark One? Okay. It fails for whatever reason.
Should we do that in a different chat?
You try some, you watch Maeve as she does her little thing, and you notice that she's in some sort of transient state. And you're like, maybe I can do that. So you take a dump and you draw out a symbol of a bone with it, and you start to chant random jumbling of words, and nothing happens, and then you eat the shit.
So good.
I wanna attempt to contact Lid.
That can be done.
Okay.
Roll Arcana.
Oh man, it's gonna be terrible.
And you've got 3 attempts before it's
got
exhausted.
Like a -5 modifier.
No.
1.
Oh my god.
Nope. That doesn't work either.
Uh-oh.
So try as you do, you're just not able to make that connection with Lid. But what you do gather out of that is that you're through your attempt to try to establish that connection, you can You're not sure if he noticed or not. You get this like strange feeling that now suddenly you're being watched. But you don't have any semblance of what that could be watching you.
Alright. Never mind then. I like say that a little audibly and just go back to writing.
Okay. If no one else has anything, you guys end up taking your rest. You wake up roughly 3 hours after, 3 hours of doing some things like light work and stuff, and then 3 hours of resting. You wake up. Some of you still feel kind of bad from the previous day, but Medelgin spent the night repairing himself. Well, shall we get on to our journey? Apparently, from what the Myconid Sovereign has shown you all, this should be quite easy. Might even shave a day or two. And Snoopy starts to run. And Medell...
I'm just gonna run straight there.
Snoopy starts to run towards the giant mushroom, and Medelgin keeps a steady pace, and once you start to get out of his dark vision range, he starts to run to catch up to you. And I would assume the rest of you follow.
Yes.
Yeah, I close my book immediately and stretch, and then proceed to walk.
And as you guys do, you appear in front of the giant mushroom, and the Sovereign is there waiting, and he approaches you. He starts to shiver, and then blue spores pop into the air. And unless otherwise noted, I assume everyone inhales them at this point.
Half them in.
Yeah.
And Angelica sneezes.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sovereign in your mind: proceed down the spiral staircase, and there you will find your route for both of you. For all of you.
Swear to God, if there's just a tree road down there.
Alfric, do not take too much, for it is harming the world tree, and every bit of bark that you take weakens its link.
Of course.
To destroy the tree would be destroying the connection to the Feywild itself.
Oh,
And
don't worry, it's not my
many
intent.
creatures would die from that, including us. Be
Don't worry.
safe on your travels, and if you find yourself coming back, you are a welcomed member of the Myconid colony. We cannot thank you enough for saving us.
Well, thank you.
And
Take
he
care.
moves out of the way, and the giant mushroom, there's not like a door or anything, but you see as on the side of it, it starts to split open and form a pathway. And on the other side of this threshold, you guys do see the spiral staircase before you.
Hey, question, Brady.
Yes.
When they were like in that little melding thing situation earlier, did Alfric like visibly to me like look around like what the hell?
Roll a perception check for that. Yeah, for that general. Yes. You did see him as he came out of the meld. Like his eyes are obviously like glazed over because he's high out of his mind. And as he starts to come down from this high, eventually like he's like blinking and doing that whole like stretching of the face thing. Like, oh shit, these lights are really fucking killer, dude. Like, whoa. And all of a sudden he's like, what the fuck? And like he just gets real, like it's almost like a instant snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, I'm just joking.
Oh no. Please.
I'm just joking.
All right. I go up to Alfred. Hey, I noticed earlier you looked around a little weirded out. Anything happen when you were in that whole weird thing?
No, just the whole coming out of it is kind of a jarring process for me.
All right. And I keep walking.
Okay. So as you guys start to walk into the giant mushroom and start to descend the spiral staircase, you get to the bottom, and just like those of you that were in the meld, you see it's almost like the very tip of a root, like of a large tree root, is sticking up straight out of the ground, which is pure stone, by the way. And it's roughly about 2 feet tall, and I would say maybe like 6 centimeter diameter to it. So it's, you know, it's a decent, like, it's almost like a sproutling tree or something like that, except for this is the end of the root, like the very tip of one of the roots. And Alfric, this actually all of you can sense the pure magical energy emanating from this root, and you actually feel it about halfway down your descent. And once you get there, it's not that it's like overpowering and makes you sick or anything, but you can just feel the essence of pure magical energy coming from this object in front of you.
I kind of like, I look around and go, you know, guys, I thought when he said route, he was talking about like a path, like a route.
And he was. And Snoopy, because of your size, you move around, start looking around the room more, and then you see an opening to a tunnel. And you're like, oh.
So it's the route.
Yes.
Ha-ha!
He was using it for both meanings.
Haha! I found the tunnel, guys.
There you go.
Cool.
So Alfric,
Yes.
how much of the root do you take?
Take it all.
How much was there again? You said
It's
6 centimeters?
Yeah,
Or-
think of like it's 6 centimeters in diameter and 2 feet tall. But obviously it's more of like a cone shape, I guess. So at the base of it is where it's the thickest, and it gets pointier as it gets towards the tip.
Yeah. Do I have an idea of how big a piece I need to get for him?
Yes, you do. So we'll just say that you cut off a decent chunk, enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
Can I
So
get
as
2
you-
of those pieces?
Yeah. So as you take out your dagger, you stab it into the root, and you immediately feel a rush of energy. And it's unlike anything you've ever felt before. It's empowering. It makes you feel like perhaps maybe this root will give you capabilities beyond that of a normal wizard. And you start to carve out a nice sliver of it. And as you peel off the piece, you can see the edges where you cut start to blacken a bit. And essentially roll a nature check for me as you see that.
Nature check. Go to attributes.
You guess that cutting off this piece has killed the surrounding pieces of that part of the root.
I turn around and I go to the root. Is the whole root black or just like that tiny spot?
Well, it's not really a tiny spot, but a large portion of where Alfred cut off some of that bark is dead now.
Okay, so I grab it, and do I feel the magical energy?
Oh yeah.
I try and like project my voice or consciousness into this. I say, Brayshow,
Snoopy? Is that Snoopy? And you watch as
alive.
the portion of the root that Alfric has cut, like the outside, the bark is what's blackened. The inner core of it is like the, I guess like the fleshy part of the inner tree, like beyond the bark. And you actually see these little orbs of green light start to, almost like dewdrops. They start to sweat from that portion, and then they start to float in the air. And after enough of them collect, you see this sort of sapping or sap visage, like an ooze in front of you, and it shapes itself to that of Cratio.
I thought maybe you perished in the Titanian overtaking.
Not quite, but it was rather close, I dare say.
What about your little fella?
Unfortunately, the Titanians captured him.
What about the Eladrian? Isn't that what they're...
Yes, that village is no more. It has been destroyed, decimated. I had other things that I had to attend to at the World Tree, and I believe somehow the Titanians knew of this, so I wasn't able to make it in time, but I did take quite a large portion of the Titanian forces down with the Eladrin. And your friend Nietzsche was there helping. If it wasn't for him, I believe the entire forest would have been burnt to cinders.
Yeah, I remember trying to... I guess it wasn't that long ago. We tried calling for you through the trees, and you must have been traveling to the World Tree.
Yes, I did hear your call, and I'm sorry that I could not help you. It was not my intention to lead you astray, dear Snoopy.
And I think, well, as you can probably see, everybody else that you met is dead. So...
Yes, I felt their
died.
spirits.
I forget you're in tuned. I don't need to tell you these things.
Not exactly, but yes. But not all of your friends are gone. They may be gone in spirits, but their bodies still walk. And you see he's got this puzzled look on his face. Sablewolf and Quinn?
Yeah.
And even Vikavor? They are still out there.
Oh.
Their spirits are gone, but their bodies are being used by others.
Oh.
What is
all of them?
What does Baba Lysaga mean to you? Is she still haunting you?
Yes. Every day.
She has control of them.
Is there a way to relinquish that control from her?
And he kind of shakes his head and shrugs. Baba Lysaga's magic is something I've not delved in very recently, if at all, actually. I believe that is more of a question for someone that practices her same magical abilities. And if perhaps you can make a deal with one of them, they could show you.
Is Opal alive?
She is, but she has since retreated to the Feywild.
That makes sense. But so I need to find another hag or similar magical creature.
Correct. And I believe that you know of Inniscraft.
I've met and worked with Inniscraft frequently, actually. and
Well-
her sister Elsbeth. Me and her are best friends.
Elsbeth is definitely the most reasonable of all of them, but Inniscraft is far more powerful and would more than likely be able to help you. But Elsbeth might have something. Perhaps. I too have worked with her in the past, and I dare say I didn't lose out on much, although she is very cunning with her words, as all of them are. They aren't known as
That's
the
why she
Dreadful
likes
Seven for no reason.
Yeah, I am very aware. Yeah, Inniscraft was supposed to keep Babala Saga off of our. Oh no, that's Lid. Do you know anything about this turtle guy? His name's Lid.
I do not, but I have felt his energy. I believe he's the one that is binding you, and he points to Angelica. Is that not correct?
I plead the fifth. No, yeah. He has me.
This is my good friend Crash. Sorry, everybody. This is Crasho. He's like the watcher of the Twisted Wood.
Oh, so you're like
The shepherd of the forest. Is that? It's been a long couple. It's been a long month.
An appropriate title, yes. I am Watcher of the Twisted Wood, and I am Keeper of the Sacred Grove.
So you're basically like a tree god?
I wouldn't say a god, but I am the Druid of Druids for the World Tree on this planet.
Ooh, noted.
A pleasure to meet you.
Yes, and he bows his
Is that
head.
what we're touching right now?
Correct. In fact, I'm a little upset that you've cut a sliver of the World Tree. And he is looking at you, Alfric. Why would you do such a thing?
No comment.
I wonder if he's even there.
I tried to stop him.
Say again? Sorry.
yeah, okay.
No, I was
Set the scene.
No,
The
I zoned out for
the
I know
fucking
you
forest
were talking.
and
Go on
protector
again.
of this tree is talking to you.
Yeah. So he Angelica asks what he is, and he says he's the protector of the Twisted Wood and the keeper of the Sacred Grove for the World Tree on this planet. And then he looks at you. Why would you cut the World Tree?
I need a piece or two.
Whatever for?
I was told to retrieve it.
Do you understand the capabilities of that sliver of bark that you hold in your hands?
I hope to. I have a vague idea.
Unfortunately for me, I am in no capability to oppose you, as I am mere sap. And he grabs his pinky and he rips it off, and then it morphs back into a pinky. But know this, that you would make a great enemy of those that protect the World Tree should you take another piece.
And I have only taken the one so far.
Correct. I do not.
Sure you wanna do that?
I do not appreciate this, as the World Tree is essential to the life on this entire planet, and it is constantly under attack. Every bit of damage has the potential to overdo it and to cause death to the tree itself. And if that were to happen, I do not believe that this world would last for many more years.
Jeez, Alfric.
God,
What's wrong
Alfred,
with
you
you?
take another piece, you're just gonna make you a rat bastard. You wanna be a rat bastard?
Listen here, I'm talking. Shush.
This guy, I don't know if you're paying attention, he took out half
I can hear him. It's fine.
I've seen what he becomes.
Anyway, I look to the tree man, And I motion towards the blackened pieces. If I take any of those, is that an issue?
Yes, those will regain in time. If you must have something, you may take a portion of the sap that I have created to make this form.
Well, then I shall take some of that.
I will allow you one vial.
Thank you.
And
Why you
he,
gotta take?
as you hold out the vial, he puts one of his fingers in there and then rips it off, and it like slowly settles at the bottom, and then the finger comes back, and he sort of like narrows his eyes at you. I do not know what your goals are, young wizard, but I have seen folks like you in the past. And depending on the route you take, you'll become quite powerful indeed. That I can foresee. But whether or not that is good for the world, I cannot.
Noted.
Hey, Cratio,
Yes.
we are on our way to light the signal for the light bringers, and we are probably going to expect heavy conflict with the Titanian armies. Is there any way you or some of your people could aid us on this mission?
I will send out a message via the birds, and I will have all available come to seek or come to your aid when the time is right. You are heading to the Sleepy Peak, you said?
Yes.
The denizens of the forest respect the creatures that live within. They will make sure that your path is safe as you descend the mountain, but everything beyond the ash, they will be unable to aid you. I don't even dare set foot within the wasteland at the foot of the Sleepy Peak.
No, I totally understand. Any assistance is helping us and the world for good, I believe. So
The Titanians are a threat to the kingdoms, and they have shown that they are a threat to the World Tree as well. If they were to find the World Tree somehow, I do not believe that they would hesitate in trying to take it over or destroy it themselves. I will make sure that my forces are aware of your goals and ambitions, and they will do everything they can to make sure the Twisted Wood is a safe haven for you and your comrades.
wow, thanks, Cratio.
Ooh. Hey, got a cool ally for once, man. As I look stupid.
I don't know if you've ever seen a dog just sitting with their back towards you, and they tilt their head backwards and sideways and look.
Yeah. And they got
up
the
at
tongue
you
flopping
from
out.
Yeah.
My form is starting to degrade, and you watch as bits of his arm start to drip. So I must leave you now, but know that I will be watching where I can. I bid you safe travels.
And say hi to Opal for me.
I will.
It was nice meeting you.
Likewise to the rest
Pleasure.
of you. And as he walks towards the tree, he puts a hand onto the exposed flesh of the root, and it starts to essentially suck in the rest of the sap, and then he disappears. And Medell looks over. Well, wizard,
Yes.
I'm curious.
About?
Are you not wanting another piece? Wouldn't this transcend you above other wizards of your caliber?
That's not my call.
I'd recommend not taking another piece.
Unless you want to be a scumbag.
He's an ancient forest dragon thing.
Oh, I'm not
So-
saying it'd be a good idea at all. In fact, I kind of just wanted to see if he'd do it so I could watch.
No, just what I have is good enough. I need this for I wouldn't call him I'm not sure what to call him. A teacher?
Teacher?
Jeez.
Advisor?
Very interesting. Perhaps maybe you could introduce me to this teacher that requires bark of a wood or the world tree itself. I'm quite curious as to what experiments he is running.
Well, I don't think he'd turn you away, but if he had no use for you, if he didn't want you to find him, he wouldn't be able to. So,
does your teacher have a name?
He does. And out of character, I am honestly not sure where these passive NPCs are, and the name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember, Brady.
It's Qualish.
Qualish. I knew it had a Q in it, but I could not remember.
Oh, there's no Q. It's KW.
Oh, it's okay. Where is this in the NPCs or?
He should be under Sladora, but I don't know if you have. Okay, yeah, you didn't have any. Let me make it to where you're an observer of him.
Okay.
Torbjorn, ready to work.
There. I actually need to go through and he should be under Sladora. And
I see him now.
You should have a little search bar, and this is way better than Roll20's search bar, so you should be able to type like KW and he pops up.
Be able to see his stats and spells and stuff? I'm guessing not.
No.
Because
you're able to?
Yes, I closed it, but
okay, let me see. Maybe it's a different permission. Limited, I think is what it is. All right, try it now.
I will click on his. Nope, he had nothing now. Okay.
Okay, tight.
That's probably why I was able to do the lighting thing as well before.
That makes sense, yeah. All right, tight. I learned something new.
Okay. I look over to the Warforged and say, Qualish?
And you watch as there's a spark in his eye, like a literal spark. You don't say.
Are you interested by chance?
Very much so.
Who made him.
And he pulls out his battle axe from his arm. Do you want me to take the second piece for you? If you give me a meeting with his Qualish? And he looks at you, Maeve, and he holds a finger out. I'm not talking to you.
Well, I'm talking to you. Don't touch the tree.
Well, he did say that I'd become an enemy if I took another piece, but nothing about if you would become an enemy.
Exactly.
I'd be morally, I say I already left. I'd be morally out of the question, I guess.
How about this? And I only say this out loud because I'm not truly worried about the repercussions of your friends. Or your new friends, I should say. But let us have bygones be bygones. My past actions against you were unfriendly, and I apologize. But after I deliver you all to the Sleepy Peak, my contract is done. I will take the same route back here. I will gain you a sliver of this bark, and I will meet you in the City of Guilds.
That sounds like a plan. And I extend a hand.
And he puts the battle axe back into his arm, and he shakes yours. Yes. This has been the best contract I've ever taken. Now, you all know where we have to go. One of you lead, I'll follow right behind you. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Dun dun dun.
Development.
I am morally gray here. I did nothing wrong.
Morally gray? You mean black?
You just made a deal wrong.
Almost
you
black.
did something wrong.
I didn't take the second piece. No one's taking the second piece. I don't know what you're talking about.
But he's going to take. Man,
you told him to take the piece. You could have just told him that you'd take him if he made you the journey. Instead, you're like, yeah, get another piece of this tree that might end up destroying the world and severing the connection to the Feywild.
It grows back
killing
into fire.
tons.
And also making a huge enemy of a very, very powerful person. Probably the second most powerful person we've met.
Uber fan.
Hey, at this point now, I'm
Also,
sure Alfred
to assume
regret
that
that.
dim sum wouldn't come here and kill all of the mushrooms to get to the root is silly.
I guess we'll find out later.
I'm sure.
Adele.
I'm sure Alfred, like at this moment, just regrets reuniting with Zuka right now. Period, because of how weird her friends are. His friends are.
Just the touchy feely type of friends in the entourage, you know, the ones that want to kiss me and lick me, and you know.
She finds you simply scrumptious.
Decadent. Oh, no.
Told
She
you
just
all those
wants-
bullshit stories that made no.
Trying to fucking heap a boulder on top of my head.
I went full Patrick mode.
No, this is Patrick.
No, this is Patrick.
Was
Hardly
Patrick.
grasp it.
Okay. Okay, now I see it.
straight up turned into Patrick while he was sleeping. Just grabbed his whole house and started being SpongeBob.
Okay. So I'm gonna end my stream and then I'll be right back.
Yep.
All right. Hopefully everyone had a good old time. We had some wonderful plot hooks, development, character creation or development, all types of stuff happened today. So that was really good. It was unfortunate. I think Gerald and Kevin were both kind of out of the zone just because they were having issues on their end for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but something with their browser, they weren't able to do stuff. They weren't able to interact with Foundry. So I think that disconnected them from the session a bit, which is, you know, it happens. You know, technical difficulties are always a thing, especially when you're running virtual style campaigns. So it's just unfortunate, but you know, they still both played. I just think that if those technical difficulties didn't happen, they would have played a little bit more. But yeah, very happy with the party dynamic right now. Everyone is getting along, which is wonderful. And yeah, Jeff was just a natural fit. It helps that they've all met each other like in real life too. And I think that's what really solidifies this group. So it's pretty neat. I'm having a lot of fun with these guys. So hopefully you are as well. And I can't wait to see what happens when they start to leave the Sleepy Peak to head to Zerodel. Because, yeah, like this whole spot right here, it's going to be quite fun now that Joe pulled out that Krayshow card. Didn't expect him to do it, but yeah, I think he caught on. So anyway, until next time.